1, 2, 3, go. The big day is here. It's 13 years in the making and 2 years of blood, sweat, and fantastic amount of tears at some points. But we are here, the groundbreaking of the new BC SPCA Nanaimo Community Animal Centre. It's been a fantastic turnout. There's 200 or 300 people here. Absolutely amazing. Mayor McKay, Michelle Stillwell, Anne Marie all speaking, and our CEO, of course. Such goodwill. Everyone's eating cake right now. But we're so thrilled to get to this point. We're hoping that by early to midsummer we'll be open, and it's so exciting to have this project, which is really a community project, to have raised almost $3.4 million. We've got about another $100,000 that we're looking to raise with our Together We Care campaign. But we are really focusing on community. So we're going to have dog walking trails and dog parks and a shop and a patio to drink coffee with your friends. And we're going to be able to expand on all of our social welfare programs that we have. And we're just so excited for the community, for the animals, for Nanaimo, for Vancouver Island, for BC, that this is an amazing thing has all come together now.
I'm excited too.
Behind the Read is a weekly feature we've started including here on Go that gives you the opportunity to take a look behind the pages here at our local daily newspaper. This is Andrea Rosato-Taylor. She is the publisher of the Nanaimo Daily News, and there are some changes coming. We have a new look here and a whole new way of really bringing news to our community. What's happening? It all takes place September 17th.
Well, I like to always start the story with a bit by saying the Grande Dame. She is over 141 years old, and like a lot of us older girls, every once in a while we need a bit of a lift. So that's exactly what we've done. We've got a bright new bold format. We're going to a tab. We're going to be a little harder hitting. We're going with the local model, of course, Nanaimo, and then we're also going to a regional model as well. So on different days, we'll go out into the community on a regional model everywhere from north of the Malahat to up to Campbell River. And we'll still concentrate on the issues that people care about, which are pocketbook, people, of course, city council, all those kinds of matters.
What do you mean by pocketbook?
Well,
for those not in the biz.
People always want to know how their taxes are being spent.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and they're very concerned about that, and newspapers are known for kind of keeping politicians honest, and that is one of our mandates, of course, as a journalistic product. We are a paid product, which I think some people don't understand the difference between a paid and free. We're one of the last bastions, in my opinion, of intellectual discourse. In my opinion, things like social media, Facebook, tweeting, etc., or gossip innuendo, we cannot do that. We can actually be libelous if we don't tell the truth inside our newspaper.
Mm-hmm. Now there's a lot of kudos, I think, can be given to the Nanaimo Daily News. I think people don't realize that it's one of the only remaining daily papers. Is that correct, in the province?
That is correct. We are, the Victoria Times Colonist is the other paid paper on the island, but again, as I said, we're one of the oldest at 141. Canada is now, 148 years old, I think.
Wow.
And so when you put it in perspective, that's an amazing amount of history that we've logged over the years for Nanaimo and for Central Island.
Mm-hmm. And you're fairly new to the position of publisher. Has it been about a year now?
Actually, it feels like a year, but it's actually been since April.
Since April, not even a year yet. And what are some of the things that you came in wanting to do with this paper?
Well, again, I think that it always stems for me passion about paid newspapers. I really am concerned of the day that if paid newspapers ever go away, because I kind of...
Meaning the hard, concrete, tangible format, not online paid subscriptions, although that's a part of the mix now.
Yes, and actually we're going to be putting up a paywall. So people will have to pay for our content. That will happen on September 17th. As a matter of fact, all these changes will happen on September 17th.
Mm-hmm. And I interrupted you, I'm sorry. So
okay.
Your belief was to really bring the paid newspaper to the value that it needs to have.
I think that's a perfect way to say that. I'm going to use that when I talk to my customers. Thank you for that.
And what are some of the ways that you've done that?
Well, I mean, we're in transition. It's been 5 months of transition, and this is a brand new model for us. I think we were trying to be all things to all people, and everybody knows what happens when you try to do that. Then you stand pretty much for nothing. So we have to go back to our roots, and that is that we're a paid paper, and we want people to subscribe to us. And I know that they will find value in doing that. And I think they want to support that, because without that, you don't have a watchdog. If you just go without a paid paper in a community, you no longer have a watchdog. We've helped a lot of organizations. We're most generous in giving to charities than any other media in this town. And all of that's done through paid subscriptions and advertising.
Okay, so some new looks, some new ways of doing things coming from the Nanaimo Daily News, September the 17th. Now there's a little bit of decisions to be made about the color still. I'm leaning towards the blue personally, but
yes, we don't know. We might be doing a red and a blue. It might be a red local and blue regional. It might be all blue. It might be all red. But inside is all news.
All news. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kate.
Behind the Read with the Nanaimo Daily News.
Hi, my name is Sydney Robertson, and I would like to welcome you to My Street on September 20th. My Street is a pop-up streetscape that we're creating on Nickel Street. Nickel Street's been on my mind for a long time. It's got the potential to be a really great part of our neighborhood, and in our neighborhood plan we identified that it can be our high street. But it's been neglected for a long while, and we've kind of let the highway run everything. So it's time to kind of take Nickel Street back and make it the high street that our neighborhood needs. We want to see all the things that used to be on Nickel Street. We want to see restaurants and dry cleaners and dentists and shoe shops and clothing places, all the things that every other high street has.
When Sydney first told me about the My Street initiative, I immediately started to think about a pop-up art gallery. And then when the space became available at the Nanaimo Entertainment Center, I thought, wow, this is going to be bigger than even I had imagined. So I see it as a perfect opportunity to build community and to showcase the depth of talent that's in this neighborhood.
For this one day, we'll have cars parked on the curb lanes, we'll have pedestrian crossings, and we will have shops all up and down the street. Community groups, vendors, food trucks, art gallery. It's going to be a busy, thriving, productive street for one day.
We are painting a freezy stand for My Street. I'm excited to sell jumbo freezies at My Street.
We're not actually aiming for a street festival atmosphere. What we're aiming for is what we would want to see on any weekend day if Nickel Street were the actual high street that we want it to be. So we will have buskers, and there'll be some music zones and the food trucks and everything, but it's all trying to actually create a real thriving street. This is your chance to be part of it. You can come be a vendor, be an artist, be a musician. You can come be a volunteer. We love volunteers.
We are still welcoming artists to the pop-up art gallery, and we're looking for works on paper as well as 3D sculptures of any kind.
We're working in partnership with the South End Community Association and the Downtown Nanaimo Business Improvement Association, and this event has actually now become part of a bigger process that's looking at the long-term changes we want to see on Nickel Street and Terminal Avenue. So My Street is also your chance to come and have your say. Tell the people what you want to see on your street.
My Street's going to be a really great event, and we'd love to see you there.
Everyone come to My Street!
So Gallery Row is used to reference the buildings along this little strip of Fitzwilliam Street, as well as this little outdoor public art gallery. This is the work that was hung just last week, and it hasn't quite been labeled or identified yet, but I can tell you that this one is by Susan LaForge. It's called Winter Nights, and if you want to come visit gallery row for yourself. I think by then they should have some labeling and some descriptions up for you to experience the artwork here in the Old City Quarter. We're going to move from one form of art to another now. Glass artist Robert Held called it quits and retired after 39 years, went so far as to sell off all of his equipment and move to Parksville. Well, retirement wasn't really in the cards. Here's Annette Lucas.